Prison Experience, March 8, 2014, Chapter 2. After the car crash, I'm in my Jeep Commander, airbag deployed. I'm bleeding from the chin. Blood is on the airbag. I'm somewhat dazed. This was a bad car wreck. I'm within walking distance from my parents' grocery hardware store, less than a quarter of a mile. I'm in the Jeep for a few minutes when Roger, my dad, comes to the scene. I get out of the Jeep, get into his vehicle, and he drives me to the store less than a quarter of a mile from the accident. I get out of his vehicle, walk to the entrance to the store, and sit down on the front porch floor. I'm in pain, I'm bleeding from the chin, and I'm still somewhat dazed. The last thing I want to do at this point is to say anything to anyone. I lit a cigarette and smoked. Sitting on the front porch of your parents' grocery hardware business, bleeding and in shock after being in a very bad car accident, doesn't stop customers from coming to the business. And a few show up and actually go into the business while I'm sitting there in pain, bleeding, and trying to shake off the events of what had just happened. The car accident scene can be seen from the entrance to the store. I'm not trying to hide, I'm just injured. My former EMT training must have kicked in. I know to access the scene and get first aid. I also know that as an EMT you choose to get involved or not. After accessing my condition, I know that I'm cut bad enough to require stitches, and I'm in an awful lot of pain. Pain is no stranger to me. I've been in an underground coal mining accident in my early 20s, which left me with a screwed up lower spine. I've been through a lot of doctors, surgery, and pain medication over the years. Knowing what I know about ER wait times, the lack of proper care, and how un-American the doctors can be is what led me to do what I did next. I know I need stitches and will have to go to the ER. However, I did not think about which ER to go to. There are two major ones that are close to choose from, the one in Virginia and the one in Kentucky. Expecting no relief from the pain I'm in from either one of them, I got Roger, my dad, to close the store, take me to my place where I picked up some first aid medication, and drive me to the ER, which happened to be the one in Kentucky. Since my place was only about 2 miles from the store, it took only a few minutes to pick up some first aid supplies and head towards the ER. While being driven to the ER, I started basic first aid on myself. I tried to stop the bleeding and alleviate some of the pain I'm in. I took what I consider an appropriate amount of medication to alleviate the pain and keep myself alert. I know from previous EMT training that normal EMTs can't administer any medication, but my previous EMT certification had long expired. Roger, my dad, isn't exactly happy about the situation I'm in either, and the worst thing for me is to argue with him. His military rank is an SB4. He was stationed in Berlin, Germany during his training in the 60s. He is very strict, and we do not agree on everything. At the ER parking lot in Pikeville, Kentucky, it took us approximately 45 minutes to get there. Along the way, I could hear sirens passing by. I'm still in a lot of pain, expecting a long wait time before getting anything done, so I administer some more medication before walking to the ER room. Inside the ER, I managed to relay to someone that I'd been in a car wreck and needed to be checked out. While waiting, a hospital employee asked me some questions. One of the first things I explained was that I'm just taking medication. The next thing I got was a catheter up my penis, which I thought wasn't necessary. I've urinated in a cup many times before. I've urinated in a lot of cups at various doctors' offices after my coal mining accident. Stifling me for that yellow gold liquid was intrusive, rude, and unnecessary. I just wanted to get stitched up. After some tests, I was given a shot or two. Exactly what they gave me, I'm not sure on. I'm still alert before being administered anything by the hospital staff. I'm placed into a room finally to be stitched up. Then I started getting sleepy. This is when the butcher shows up. While drifting in and out of consciousness, the butcher goes to work, performing his attempts to sew me up correctly, which I find out later failed. While on the slab, I pass out. The next thing I recall is awakening briefly in a room. Roger, my dad, is there, and so is a policeman guard. I'm groggy now. Whatever they shot into me must have been a horse tranquilizer. Roger and I exchange a few words. I pass out again. The next thing, I awaken naked in a holding cell at the Pike County Detention Center.